Actor Justin Bartha is known for his roles in Hangover and National Treasure. Now he's starring in a new comedy called Nuked. The film is about a group of college-age friends who actually, they're not college-age. They were college-age back in the day. They reunite at a lavish estate for a technology-free and cannabis-themed birthday party. That's a combo. But things take a wild turn, as they should, when the group discovers a nuclear bomb is heading their way. This is so out of the park. In this clip, Jack, played by Bartha, announces a surprise for the guests.
Anyway, I thought it might be a nice thing to go back before the times of Facebook and Instagram and have us all just be together. No distractions, just like it used to be. So, Jill and I thought that before we get the party started, it might be a nice idea for everyone to surrender their phones for the night into this unplug box.
Okay, you can't be serious.
I am.
That is never gonna go well. No. I just have to say.
First of all, I want to. College age is fine.
Already in a good spot.
Yes, exactly.
Well, first off, you started off. The film starts off actually with something. I was mad throughout the entire film with that. I'm not gonna give it away, but with the the bathroom moment.
Yeah.
That's a theme. Sorry.
There's some twists.
There's some twists
in this one, yeah.
But I mean, come on, the cell phone. Where were you going for this?
I mean, this movie. A lot of the idea of this movie is that it feels like we've all been stuck in, kind of a disaster for the last 5 years. A lot of it was born out of the pandemic, and myself and the director talking about how relationships changed during this time where we all thought that, is this the end of the world? What is a high concept comedy, and we really want to stress that this is a comedy movie for adults. So if you're, maybe not interested in seeing Superman this, next week, hang out and watch a comedy for adults. But it really is about relationships and how, maybe sometimes it takes the end of the world to start being honest with each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it brings up a lot of interesting dynamics of putting together a group of people who haven't seen each other in a long time.
College-age people.
College-age people. And just keeps on raising the ante. And it makes you think about, what would you do also if the world really was ending and you're stuck with your friends at a cannabis-themed party with no cell phones? Not to say that you would actually go down that dynamic, but essentially, well, maybe. But when things are coming to an end, how do you react in life?
I mean, I think, I think we can all identify these days. I mean, nuclear war is in the news every day now. We went through collectively as a race, we all thought we were gonna die. And I don't know about you, but every single couple that my wife and I were friends with went through a huge shift during the pandemic, whether it was divorce, separation, opening their marriage, getting back together, high school sweethearts coming, So this is what, this movie, does, is instead of just, getting drunk or high with your friends after not seeing them for a while, it ends up being forced to look each other in the eyes and tell you the truth.
So Justin, I like what you said earlier, which is that this is a comedy movie for adults. And I love comedy movies. I love romantic comedy films, and we don't see enough of them, especially in the last decade or so. It's either horror or a superhero movie. So when you think about this film and what you want people to take away from it, what would you say? I
mean, that's it, man. I just want people to laugh. I want people to smile. When I'm flipping through, something to rent or stream at home, I never find a new comedy movie, especially for adults, anymore. I have kids, and I take my kids to see family movies, and I love horror movies too, but it's so hard to find an original, funny movie to laugh with your loved one or your friend at home.
And you've been in some classic ones,
yes,
like Hangover
Yes.
and National Treasure. Is there going to be a Hangover 4?
Hangover 4, probably not. I mean, maybe in 20 years.
National Treasure 3?
Yes,
National Treasure 3, we've been working on it for a while. You never know. You never know.
Breaking news here.
Yeah,
Breaking
you never
news.
know.
We're going to make some news, Justin.
Right. Justin, it's a real pleasure. The film is just, it's so capturing, I just have to say. I still want to know. I want to examine what happened between you and the wife. I just have to say that.
What happened with me and my wife?
Justin Bartha, thank you. Nuked will be available in theaters and on demand July 11th.
Actor Justin Bartha is known for his roles in Hangover and National Treasure, and now he is starring in a new comedy called Nuked. The film is about a group of college friends who reunite at a lavish estate for a technology-free and cannabis-themed birthday party. But things take a wild turn when the group discovers a nuclear bomb is headed their way. In this clip, Jack, who is played by Bartha, announces a surprise for the guests.
Anyway, I thought it might be a nice thing to go back before the times of Facebook and Instagram and have us all just be together. No distractions, just like it used to be. So, Jill and I thought that before we get the party started, it might be a nice idea for everyone to surrender their phones for the night into this unplug box.
Okay, you can't be serious.
I am.
Yeah, Justin Bartha joins us now. I think I would leave the party at that point. If
Really?
You said,
You'd be like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, no, and then you throw in a nuclear bomb, and I'm definitely out of there at that
I know.
point.
What's worse, no phones or a nuclear bomb to people these days?
Ooh,
The
man,
cannabis
that's a tough
theme,
one.
though, the cannabis theme
That
makes
ties
it
it
a
all
little
together.
bit, yes,
Yeah,
as one does. Tell us about the premise for this movie.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just throw in so many interesting dynamics.
Yeah, I mean, I think the idea initially came from the 2018 Hawaii scare from North Korea, right? And then the writer-director Dina Kashper, a very talented first-time writer-director, sent this to me during the pandemic, and we started to talk about, when we were all locked down, talk about our relationships in this crazy time where everyone thought that the world was going to end. So, so much of the comedy and just the movie came out of, us talking about how relationships were just shifting and changing during this time.
So this film is we were talking about this in the last hour, it's a comedy for adults, and it explores sort of the biggest, I guess, vices that we all have as adults currently, like social media, which is that scene that we just referenced, but also weed.
Yeah.
How do you want people to feel about that, those vices? Are they vices even?
I mean, yeah, I think they're certainly...
It's legal in New York, Justin. I'm only kidding.
Yeah, I mean, I think, listen, so are cell phones. I think you could say that, there's a line between alcohol and weed and technology, and that's what a lot of, we're exploring that. The main characters, myself and the one played by Anna Camp, a lot of it has to do with, she has this new career as a podcaster and is needing social media to promote herself. And I'm a little bit more of a Luddite and addicted to marijuana. And it's kind of, you see how different vices and how these couples actually finally are talking about it as the world is ending.
Okay, I also have to ask you a very serious question here. Our senior producer, Matt Shelley, is a big National Treasure fan, as are we all. One question he wants to know. Do you know what is on page 47?
Oh, my God.
You get this. You've gotten this.
I've gotten this before. I do know.
Okay.
But I cannot. You have to wait maybe for another movie.
Do you think there might be another one?
It's possible. It's possible. We've been trying.
Let me ask you this. You have such a fascinating career. I mean, you started out, and it resonates with me. I started out as a production assistant in news. You started out as a production assistant on Analyze This.
I did, yeah.
And how did you transition from being a PA, running around, probably
getting coffee, scripts?
For sure, hustling. I mean, just hustling. I mean, I came to New York in the 90s and I had no, history, no family members, no one in the entertainment industry. So I just did any job that I could possibly get. And I learned, every single department on a film set, I was, in the editing department, the costume department. So I just wanted to learn. And
did you think you wanted to be an actor?
Yeah, I knew I wanted to be an actor, since I was in high school and stuff, but I also wanted to kind of make stuff. I just loved the process. So it was just hustling. I mean, just meeting and just working at any job possible.
Well, the hustle is real and it sure paid off.
Paid off, my brother.
Justin Bartha,
amazing.
Thank you very much. Nuked will be out in theaters and on demand next Friday, July 11th.